Lesson 11. 일요일이 어때요? 일요일이 어때요? Vocabulary. Lesson 11. Vocabulary. In this lesson, we're going to talk about Korean adjectives. In English, when we say adjectives, we're talking about things that can modify nouns, like pretty, ugly, short, long, loud, noisy. These are all adjectives. And in English, for adjectives to function in a sentence, they need to be paired up with linking verbs such as be. When I say be verbs, I'm talking about verbs that simply link the subject with the subject complement, in this case adjectives. For example, I am smart. Am links I, the subject, with smart, the adjective. But in Korean, when we say adjectives, we're actually talking about the combination of the verb am, smart together, and they function together, and that unit is called an adjective. So adjectives, by definition, behave very similar to verbs. Remember, in verbs, they always end in da. That's the base form that you can find in the dictionary. Adjectives do exactly the same thing. So you can tell that if you use Korean adjectives, that kind of eliminates the need for a verb. So let's look at an example here. The base form of this adjective is 바쁘다. 바쁘다. So this behaves very much like a verb, and you would look this up in the dictionary. If you want to use it in a polite present form, you would conjugate it, and u disappears, and because ba is a bright vowel, it is paired up with another a, so 바빠요. 바빠요. We're going to get into the grammar part of it, the mechanics of it later. 바쁘다, 바쁘다. 바빠요, 바빠요. It means busy. But treat it as if it is be busy. Am busy, are busy, is busy. So if you say 나는 바빠요, you don't need a verb. Just simply the adjective alone functions as the verb and adjective together. So 나는 바빠요 means I'm busy. So once again, 바쁘다, 바빠요. Another one, the opposite of it, not busy, is 한가하다, 한가하다, 한가하다. And just like a verb ending, 하다 becomes 해요 in the present polite form. 한가해요, 한가해요, 한가해요. 맞다, 맞다. Remember, 주 is one of those things that become T at the end of a syllable. So it ends with a T and it meets another T, so this becomes stronger. 맞다, 맞다. So this becomes stronger. 맞다, 맞다. That's the base form. But the present polite form is mat plus io, and this releases, because the vowel follows, it releases the consonant at the end of the syllable. So 맞아요, 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 which means you're right, or he is right, depending on the context. Once again, 맞다, 맞다, 맞아요, 맞아요, 맞아요. Correct, or to be right. The opposite is 틀리다, 틀리다, 틀리다. This is hard to say because there's an L here and there's an L here. It's strengthened. So 틀리다, 틀리다, 틀리다. That's the base. And then you would add 어요, because it's a choice between 어요 and 아요. In this case, it's 어요. So originally it was 틀리어요, 틀리어요, and you say it really fast, it becomes 틀려요, 틀려요. That's quite a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? 틀려요, 틀려요. That means to be incorrect or to be wrong. 틀려요. One more time. 틀리다, 틀려요. 크다, 크다, 크다. When something is large, big, it's 크다. And drops out and you add a. 커요, 커요, 커요 means to be big. The opposite is 작다. 크다. Together this strengthens. So 작다 sounds like da. 작다, 작다. And because it's a bright vowel a, it's paired with a. 작아요. Notice this g gets released. So 작아요. 작다, 작다, 작아요, 작아요. If something is good or you like something, it's expressed in terms of an adjective rather than a verb, as in English, like I like something, which is a verb. So 좋다, 좋다, 좋다. Do you hear what's happening phonetically? This H moves over here and it becomes aspirated. 좋다, 좋다, 좋다. 좋아요, 좋아요. If it's followed by a vowel, h almost disappears. 좋아요, 좋아요, 좋아요. So it's a funny adjective, because if you say I like apples, in English you use the verb like, but in Korean, apple, in English it would be an adjective of the verb like. In Korean, apple becomes the subject, and you like that, so you'd say 사과가, and you use the subject marker. 좋아요, 사과가 좋아요. Or 선생님이 좋아요. I like the teacher. 선생님이 좋아요. Or 한국어가 좋아요. 한국어가 좋아요. That means I like Korean. And once again, 한국어가, there's a subject marker. Kind of a funny construction. So you really cannot compare it to English. It's different. The opposite is 싫다. 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 So what is happening phonetically? You do realize that if there are two consonants ending a syllable, they get split. One stays with the first syllable, the second one goes up. So 싫다, aspiration happens, right? 싫다, 싫다, 싫다. 싫어요, 싫어요. When it's followed by a vowel, h almost disappears, so it's as if it doesn't exist. 싫어요, 싫어요. If you don't like pizza, you'd say 피자가 싫어요. 피자가 싫어요. 싫어요. If something is bad, you say 나쁘다. 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 And the polite present form is 나빠요. 나빠요. You've seen it twice already. When there's a u vowel ending in the stem part of the adjective, u drops out and you add whichever vowel harmonizes with the first vowel. So 나빠요, 나빠요, 나빠요. So if you say body parts, let's say 머리 means head. 머리가 나빠요. 머리가 나빠요. That means my head is not good. That means I'm not smart. When something is abundant or there's a lot of, you say 많다. 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 By now you're something of a phonetician, so you know what's happening here, right? N goes with the first syllable. H goes with the second syllable, making the second syllable aspirated. 많다. 많다. The polite present form is 많아요. 많아요. So H gets almost reduced. 많아요. 많아요. So if you want to say you have a lot of candy, you'd say 사탕이 많아요. 사탕이 많아요. The opposite is 적다. 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 It means quantity. 적다. This becomes strengthened. 적어요. Liaison. Release. 적어요. 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 So if I say 숙제가 적어요, what does that mean? It means I don't have a lot of homework. There's very little homework. 숙제가 적어요. 같다. These are the same types of consonants, t and d. So 같다. 같다. This strengthens. 같다. To be alike. The present form, the vowel follows. So 같아요. 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 같다. 같아요. Incidentally, you know how in English a lot of people use the word something is like instead of something is, and it's a really bad speech habit. The same thing is actually happening in Korea, and it happens with this expression 같아요. So instead of saying the weather's good, they say the weather is like good, which really annoys me to no end. To be different is 다르다. 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 And this is a very peculiar kind of irregular adjective because drops out and then you have another l happening here. 달라요. 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 It means different. 달라요. Incidentally, this part 달라 is also how we spell the mighty US dollar. 달라. 달라요, which means different, of course. 비슷하다. 비슷하다. S and 하, because when it's the last sound in the syllable, it becomes t. And the t and ha together becomes totally aspirated. So 비슷하다. I know these phonetic phenomena just drive you crazy, but just bear with me a little bit. 비슷하다. 비슷하다. 비슷하다 means to be similar, and the present polite form is 비슷해요. 비슷해요. So they conjugate like the 하다 verb. 비슷해요. 어떻다. Aspiration. 어떻다. To be how. 어떻다. 어때요. 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 So if you want to ask how's kimchi, you'd say 김치가 어때요? 김치가 어때요? 괜찮다. 괜찮다. Splitting final consonants. 괜찮다 means to be okay. 괜찮다. And this is used when you respond to somebody saying thank you. 괜찮아요. 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 To be pretty is 예쁘다. 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 drops out, harmonizing vowel 예뻐요. 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 If something is necessary, you say 필요하다. Liaison happening here. 필요하다. 필요하다. 하다, 해요. 필요해요. 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 If something is not necessary, it's just one word adjective. 필요 없다. 필요 없다. 없다 means non-existent, right? So not needed. 필요 없다. 필요 없다. 필요 없어요. Remember two double consonants? 없어요. 필요 없어요. 필요 없어요. When something is a lot of fun, we say 재미있다. 재미있다. Present polite. 재미있어요. 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 So let me ask you a question. 한국어가 재미있어요? 한국어가 재미있어요? I hope your answer is 네. If it's not fun, you'd say 재미없다. 재미없다. So it's a 있다 없다 combination, right? 재미없어요. 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 When something is comfortable, you'd say 편하다. 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 편해요. 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 편리하다. 편리하다. Something funny happens. This l moves down here and it's a very powerful force, so it turns n to l as well. So it's almost like a l together. 편리하다. 편리하다. That means to be convenient. 편리하다. 필요해요. 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 불편하다. That's the opposite. Uncomfortable, inconvenient. 불편하다. 불편하다. Okay, this is a bit of a trivia, but that might help you in the long run. A lot of Korean words come from Chinese. You do realize that, right? And when you have Korean words of Sino origin, sometimes when you see 불 means opposite. 불편하다. Remember, 편하다 meant comfortable? 불편하다 means the opposite. 불편하다. 불편해요. 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 Kind of like knowing anti meaning the opposite in Latin. That helps with your English vocabulary, right? When something is weird or strange, we say 이상하다. 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 이상해요. 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 When something is beyond weird, it's curious and odd and close to magical, we say 신기하다. 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 신기해요. 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 When you're tired, by now you might be, 피곤하다. 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 피곤해요. 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 When you're sick, you say 아프다. 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 drops out, harmonizing vowel 아파요. 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 So if you say 머리가 아파요, that means my head hurts. I hope your head's not hurting from studying all the Korean vocabulary. 아파요. 아파요. Okay, you might be sleepy too. 졸려요. 졸리다. 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 졸려요. 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 Now you can go to sleep because it's over. Thank you. Bye.